Hello there. I am Steve from Mac84 and welcome to another live stream. My goodness, I was wildly unprepared for this. What else is new? I just gotta adjust the camera slightly so it doesn't look as crummy. I'm probably adjusting the wrong camera here because there we go. Maybe, kind of. Ooh, we got some strobe lights today. Why not? I have no idea why, but hopefully everybody is doing well today. Got a bunch of people in the chat already. My goodness, I guess everyone's just bored on a Sunday evening. I was too, and if I didn't do this, I was going to be like Jay and falling asleep in a food coma. So, let's do this. So, we got Bruce from Breakfast Creations. We have Jay from the House of Moth. We have Adam. We have DJ Craze. We have Drake 9800. Thank you, Drake, for arriving. We have Kate from the Macintosh Librarian. We have Stormcrash. We have Savvy Sage. Hey, how's it going? Aaron is here. He says, I think this is one of the few times I've been at the beginning of a stream. I know, it's crazy. And as usual, Steve starts his stream just as I'm about to head out to buy lunch. Damn it, Bruce. Start ordering your lunch in. That's what you got to do. Xenoblade Chronicles is here. Secret Chicken is here. These names are great. And Mike of Mike's Mac Shack will wake up and eventually join us, I'm sure. But hopefully everybody is doing well. If you were in the U.S. and you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. And if you didn't, well, I hope you just had a big dinner and fell asleep by the TV, because I think that's what everyone did. Now I want another piece of pie. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? So I got a little bit carried away with my last stream. It's about 8 hours long or so, give or take. I forgive you if you did not watch the whole thing, because it's quite a long one. 8 hours and 17 minutes, about 14 or 10 minutes shy of my previous record of 8 hours and 30 minutes. Although I think for this one, it was more consecutive of me doing things, because with the previous 8 hour plus stream, I took like a dinner break and all that stuff. But yeah, just reading the comments here. 10 hours today. No, thank you. Leftovers. Yes, delicious leftovers. And so, yeah. So a big shout out goes to, well, let me get the things out before I give shout outs here. Those are rookie numbers. Exactly. So very, very kind user who's in the chat today, which is great because I just brought this package down and now they're thinking, oh no, he's gonna out me. He's gonna oust me for all the bribing I did to him. Drake 9800, who is on the Tinker Different forum, so check them out there, sent me a lovely array of goodies. They had made these little badges for whoopsie, reminiscent of the old Apple tags or serial tags for older devices, and they sent me a few of them, and these are great. They're little stickers. They have the little Tinker Different logo I designed on it, which is really cool. And the camera's not going to focus, so we're going to have to focus manually. One moment, please, as I yell at my camera inside of my mind. That's my internal monologue always. So there we go. We got some pretty cool stickers there, which is really, really nice. And so that was, well, that wasn't all he sent. He sent some really cool stuff. And I was just like, I opened the pack. I was having a crummy day, and I opened this package. I was like, oh, goodies! And it made me much happier. Got a BlueSCSI sticker. I mean, you can't have enough of those. That's really cool. He had some leftover stickers from other projects. So this is, I believe this is the Model M Reddit subreddit that he had there. This is Model IBM. I love the look of the IBM monitor. He's like, there. It's a funny one. And then there's another one with a kind of a Borg collective type thing there. That's pretty funny. And then we have a K-Pro. Okay, I'm not really familiar with the K-Pros, but it says K-Pro on it. So the doofus computer. So really cool. These are holographic too. I really like that. And of course, a remade Apple Rainbow sticker, which is great because I have original ones. I'm not going to use them, but this will stick somewhere. So that's really cool. And some cyborg lady with a computer hacking away at, I don't know. You describe this, buddy. This goes to the theme of the next one, which which he sent to me because his significant other wouldn't let him put it on his car. I don't know if I could put this on my vehicle for many reasons, but I think it's hilarious. Mike, what about this? We'll put it on your car. The sexy ladies of early versions of Microsoft Windows. I think it's hilarious. His words in the letter. Let me like this comment. Yeah, that's what he said in the letter, and the nice little note he included to me. But hilarious. I love it. So I got a bunch of cool stickers here and a nice little note that's upside down that he sent. So thank you very much, Joshua. Greatly appreciate the goodies that you have here. If you like these types of things that Joshua is a part of, go to Tinker Different. He's on there. He also sent me some other goodies. I'm going to show off that in a moment. But yeah, we have these cool little things. If I can get them out of the bag without dropping them. Windows on Windows. So we have the Don't Forget Better Bit battery by Drake. And these are little 3D printed battery thingamabobbers. And I believe what the whole idea is that you put a little coin cell battery in here. And then you shove this into, because it has connective on the left and the right, you shove this into the battery socket on an old Mac. So like this, and it just goes kind of, you know, I'm doing a bad job of it, but it would sit there. And then, you know, it's a button battery, so it's not as prone to leakage and explosion as your regular half AA ones. And I should turn the focus back on. Castellated edges. That's a good word. CR 2032. Yep, there you go. And yeah. So these are really cool. Haven't figured out what machine I want to put them in yet, but I have to turn the focus back on because this drawing is absolutely hilarious and adorable. This guy's like, I'm forgetful. This is me. This is the epitome of me. And of course, you can see the little button battery on the back. So I think that's really, really cool. And some floppy gears too, because you could never have too many floppy gears. And yeah, so we got some floppy gears there, which is awesome. And last but not least, got some memory modules here. And I'll have to check our conversation because I can't off the top of my head remember exactly which machines these were for. But I want to show you the artwork on the back of these. This is the most adorable. Just look at these machines. You got a classic Mac on the left, a Quadra 700, a Performa 500 series, a 6100 or a Centra 650 or a 610. We have, you know, a Quadra 950 or one of those. We have a little color classic looking guy and an LC, a Power Mac, and a TAM on the right. Look how freaking adorable that is. Just, aw. Like, I was having a bad day and I saw this and I'm like, oh, look at the pretty colors and the pretty little happy Macs. I think they're just adorable. I mean, there's no other way to describe that. And so these are memory modules. They are, I believe, let me check my conversation before I make a fool out of myself. Boop 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 boop. I cannot read and scroll at the same time. There's some more artwork that he shared with me on Discord that I'm just giggling at. 80 nanoseconds. For an overclocked 475. Okay, yeah. So these are SOJ chips, I guess, that are on here. So very, very cool. I know I'm very blurry. I turned the focus on to focus on these things, and now it's not even doing that anymore. So whatever. But anyway, thank you very, very much, Joshua, for sending these my way. I was just expecting some stickers, and I got a whole bunch of other crap. So good crap. So thank you so much for that. I will be sure to use these floppy gears and these little battery holders and this memory, of course. And these stickers are hilarious. I'm going to have to find a place to put them. But thank you so much. I was having a crummy day when this package arrived, and it really brightened my day. So thank you so much. Those guys are 512K VRAM sims. Any 68K that takes them can use them. Well, that's good because I could plenty use some VRAM sims. Thank you very much. Those will put them over here. Those will be good in one of my color classics or something like that. So yeah. Yes, good job, Savvy Sage. Yeah, I mean it's not just my advice to take the batteries out of things, but you have to understand that from someone who repairs this stuff, I see it very often where someone has not removed the battery and has rusted away or whatever, And this stuff is corrosive. It's not like, oh, if the battery's going to leak. It's when. Like an old spinning hard drive. It's not when it's not if it's going to die. It's when it's going to die. And so, it's just one of those things that, I try to explain to people, you should really take the batteries out of your computer. And a lot of them are like, oh, I don't want to lose the time. And it's like, really? That's your excuse? All right, then let the battery explode in your machine. And then you'll have to pay hundreds of dollars for someone to try and fix it. And they probably won't be successful. And they'll end up like this, where you have a battery that exploded. The battery used to be here. You can't even see it anymore because it obliterated the whole machine. The processor has rust all over it. And the pins are all fallen off of it. And this is a parts board now. So you want your prized Mac to turn into a parts board? No. You want to take the darn battery out. And when you're going to use the machine, pop the battery right back in. And Ron of Ron's Computer Videos is working on a cool project. If you don't want to have to keep opening up your computer, well, he's figuring out a way to be very clever of how to have those batteries installed in external capacity. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, all the batteries, either they're dead anyway, so that it's not keeping the time as it should, or all those settings as it should. And yeah, I mean, if the battery is dead, then why leave it in there? There's no real reason to. So I mean, I know some people are less technical, and they're like, no, I like leave it in, but I'm like, I'm telling you, not a good idea. Not a good idea. All right, well, thank you very much again for all those goodies. I was very happy to take a look, and I'll install those in a machine, I'm sure, sometime soon. Let's see. And also, with the times on those machines, unless you're running, software that needs that time, you could just reset the time. Nothing's going to be too crazy. My goodness, we have a celebrity here, Joe of Joe's Computers. How's it going, Joe? We were just talking about getting batteries out of things, and why it's important. There you go. Yeah, anything that has a battery, your old Game Boy, I mean, these are double A's, but still, that could cause capacitor leakage, well, there are caps right here, that's what I was looking at. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff. That was when that package arrived. I'm good now. I have a belly full of food. I have no idea what I'm going to be working on. Jay and Bruce put me up to this, and then Bruce went out to lunch, so that's what you get. But we have 30 people here, so I'm gonna have to do something. I will talk about some goodies I picked up. We have 2 bags of cool stuff. Who could guess what's in this bag? Bruce is still here, thank goodness. Oh, we'll get to that, Thomas. We'll get to that. So this is something I didn't necessarily need, but I liked the bag. And that's really all I wanted, but it did come with a zip drive. Now, unfortunately, it's the parallel zip drive. It's not a Zip Plus, although it does have a driver CD for the Zip Plus here. This is not a Zip Plus in particular. It's just a regular old parallel port Zip 100 drive, which is fine for PCs and junk like that. But it has, the giveaway here is the printer icon there. So this is a parallel one. If it were a Zip 100 Plus, it would have the plus signifier there. But I didn't care about the drive. I just wanted the bag, which is cool. And it has a power adapter. You can always use a spare power adapter. And it has an original CD in there. So that's what I really wanted. I like the carry bag. I have a carry bag for my USB zip, but it doesn't have a pouch, or spot rather, for the power supply. But look at the blue inside. I just like that. I think that's cool. Zip disk 150. You mean 750? But yeah, I think that was pretty cool. The strap isn't that long enough. It's barely long enough to put over your shoulder and carry around. But I thought that was neat. So that was something I was haggling with on eBay. I think I wanted way too much at first, and I'm like, I just want the bag. I don't even want the zip drive. But I guess I have a spare one. And those, they don't really last that long. So I'll make a purse. Heck yeah. All right, the next is also in a bag, but this is something really cool. So this is an Apple TechStep. I already had one of these, but this came up on a very good price on eBay. They were doing ask a best offer type deal. And a few of my friends were actually trying to make an offer on it, and I put like $5 more than they did. So this is, let me point the camera a bit down so you can see everything. So this is what's in here. This is the Apple TechStep. This one has different ROMs than mine. So this one here, And it has all the discs, the cables, and everything. So I want to just open it up and show you guys real quick because I was very excited to find this. These things could... The asking price for these is very silly. I bought my original one for like... This was like, I think, $25 or $30. Like back in like 2007, 2008. Something like that. This, I paid more than that, unfortunately. This was a little bit upwards of $200. But, you know, in the condition that it's in and everything... I thought it was worth it, especially because I thought my original one died. But we'll get to that in a moment. But we have all the cables, and these are just standard cables. These are, you know, I mean, it's a nice long SCSI cable, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I could get different cables if I wanted to. There seems to be a serial cable or a video cable for the 2GS type monitor here. So I don't know why that's in here, but it's here. Let me put those aside. We have power cables here. Look at the power cable. Audio cable here. This is just a standard audio cable. This probably actually came with like PC speakers or a ViewSonic monitor. They always have the green one there, so that's not too special. We have a ADB cable, which I suspect is actually an S-video cable, and the reason I suspect that is because... Where's the ADB cable here? Hold, please. The S-video cables that you get from real cheap places, that plastic bit at the bottom of the connector there, is often a little too large to actually fit in an S-video connection. So actually, if I try this on a classic board here, yeah, this doesn't really want to go in there. So I bet this is just a cheap cable that they bought and threw it in there. But what's really neat about this is we have this, and this I think is really cool. So apologies for the white balance. Let me try and fix that here. I mean, it is a bit glossy, so I think it's just picking that up. Yeah, I mean, the light situation, we're going to get strobes and whatever. But anyway, we have a little guide here. And inside we have some booklets. I'll put this over to the side. And so we have a troubleshooting guide. That's what this is. Focus, whatever you're doing. We also have a user's guide, so that tells us how to use the thingy. Yeah, the S-video cable, as long as it's not a cheap one that isn't wired correctly, should work fine. We have a README first. Really, this is really horrible. Come on, camera. Really? I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Can we just, like, there? Yeah, there we go. And then we have these. This is really cool. This is the floppy disks. So let's open this up here. And so we have two disks. This is, I believe there's a, yeah, here's the first one here. And this is the report generator and the test software. And then we have this, which is a getting started. I believe it's a HyperCard rather. We say wrong things. This is a HyperCard stack. Hey, Sean, how's it going? So these are the discs that came with it, but what's more interesting here, and I have to scan these in because I want to recreate these labels. We have Apple Service blank discs. I guess these were given so you could write your own reports and save them, but we have an 800K one, and then we have a 1.4 meg high density disk, they call it. But I think that's really cool, and that's what's in there. And let's put this all back together so we don't misplace any of it, because I certainly don't. This is something that was really neat, and I didn't expect all the documentation to be in there. The photos on eBay weren't the best, but I think that's quite handsome. We have a little, the EULA back on here, software license agreement here for that. But was really cool about this, if I could maneuver this around. Come on, there we go. This has foam cutouts for the ROMs that go in here, the little ROM packs that come out of the TechStep. So you take these out. If you had two spares, you put them there, which is neat. The one thing I did notice about this TechStep, it needs a little bit of repair. It does work, but so it's probably easier just for me to explain it. So there are two slots in here where these little cartridges slide into. And you can see there are pins here. If the camera ever wanted to focus, you'd see there are pins here. And so there are sockets inside of here. And those sockets are flush with the little PCB that's in there. And I'm going to use my phone as a flashlight so you can get an understanding of what the heck is going on there. And I accidentally opened the camera, so it's not going to let me do the thing. And now we're going to, there we go. So you can see there are two connectors there. And you can see they're flush. They're right on top of that PCB. So that's how it should be. Well, on the other one of them is like, almost half a centimeter off. It's really raised up where it shouldn't be. And so you could barely get that pack in there, the ROM pack. And the pins were actually bent on it. So whoever shoved it in there, was just being forceful. I was like, oh, why don't this fit in there? So, yeah, we're going to have to do some repair on that. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do it right now. But I'm going to leave this in its plastic here because I'm not going to really open it up. But yeah, that was a concern I had. But this was nice. It comes with a power adapter. It runs off a 9-volt battery, but I was having problems with the batteries that I had. I don't know if they were cheap batteries or not, but they were. Spoiler alert. But this is a negative center power supply, and someone is ridiculous enough to want $100 for this power supply on eBay. Now, if I just wanted the power supply, I could have just bought a cheapo one. This is just a 9-watt, 9-volt, 500 milliamp negative center barrel power adapter. That's all this is. And I could have found one of those. This focus is going to drive me crazy. Oh, camera. Why do you do this? Why are you such garbage? There we go. And so, yeah, this is just, your standard type of power adapter, like a Sony one, negative is the center. So it's just a standard one. But it came with the power supply, so I'm like, okay, that's neat. So I'm going to use that today and stop fiddling around with the batteries that I had. And when I plug that into my current TechStep, it's sprang to life again. Yeah. So there is autofocus with the camera. It's just a pile of crap. And so, yeah. Let me just move this over here. We're using batteries at VCF. It's hard to find cheaper than you got. I was using what is this piss cell? Yeah, fine for my voltage line inducer on the Dream Pi. Probably not good enough for anything else. So I have since ripped that out of the TechStep, and I'll just be using the power supply. Yeah, no, not PK cell. I like my pronunciation better because that's how well the product works. But what do I know? I just bought them because they were the cheapest thing, and yeah, it bit me in the ass. But anyway. Well, see, the webcams right now are stupid expensive, and this is a Logitech C920. It's supposed to be good. I've never had correct focus with it, ever. So that's just how it is. So apologies, but yeah. All right, so we're actually going to be doing something today, I guess. First off, let's look at Ron's logic board. Ron's not here, so we can make fun of him. No. Ron's busy playing Prince of Persia for the 8 millionth time. But that's okay, because he needs to get through that. He promised us he'd finish it. Hey, Dave, how's it going? I wish there was a focus ring on this thing. It's all... You can't even focus it manually without some add-on third-party software. So that's what I'm toggling with whenever I'm complaining about it. But, my goodness. Yeah, I was catching up from the stream and just laughing because Ron was having a heck of a time getting everything to work. And why is the camera still such crap? Hold on, I thought I adjusted the exposure time to not make this as crummy. There, that's a little bit better. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I wonder if it has trouble focusing. Maybe you have stuff behind you. Try to move it. No, we're leaving the stuff where it is. I'm not moving anything. Hey, Tom, how's it going? Vintage Hillbilly Shack. I like your name. How's it going? Justin's here. Hey, Justin. All right, so let's get on to this classic 2 board that Ron sent me. So, if you remember from last stream, and we'll see what else we want to focus on today. I don't know. From the last stream, this was dead as a doornail, and then we tinkered around with it, and then we got different patterns on the screen, and then we started up from a System 7 disk, and it froze. Wouldn't do anything at all. Just freeze during Welcome to Macintosh. Then I learned that there's a System 608L version that was meant to be like a stopgap before System 7 was ready for different languages. And that will boot on a Classic 2, this is a Classic 2 Rev A logic board. And, sorry, the flux gets every little hair and dust sticking to this board. And it booted up just fine, and it works just fine, but when we run something like Snooper, it fails the tests that it runs for the serial ports and junk. So I'm just curious, since we have the TechStep, let's plug it in and just see what happens. It's going to report that the serial thing's failed, but I want to show you how it's working in action. Yeah, we got a whole tinker different bunch of group people here. How's it going, guys? How's it going, guys? Oh, that's horrible, but it's funny. All right, so let's plug in the power cord here. Hopefully I'm keeping most of you awake. I might fall asleep, but just wake me up. If you can't hear me, just wake me up. All right, so what is this power plug going to? Is that that's the duster, the air duster. We don't need that plugged in right now, so we're going to unplug that as I try not to smash my elbow into the back of the neck of the CRT. And we're going to plug in our TechStep power adapter. And TechStep in action. Alright, so we're going to put the ROMs in first. So it has two slots, A and B, for these ROMs. And the ROMs tell you what it's compatible with. So I have two ROMs, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1 is for the original classic, the SE, SE30, the 2, the 2X, and the 2CX. So that means it's compatible with those versions. This is compatible with the LC, the LC2, and the Classic 2. Now I actually do have downloads of the ROMs that I do not have in my possession. Helps if you put them in the right way. Me and a friend are going to try and figure out how to maybe reverse engineer that and get new versions of those ROMs, because I think that would be pretty darn cool. Alright, so let me just adjust the chat so I can actually read it, because the text is kind of small and I can't see it. And my keyboard is always flying around. Okay, sorry. Guessing your TechStep has a broken wire in the battery clip that is making a connection until the battery shifts when the connection block is clipped in position. That's what I suspected, but when I took it apart earlier, the battery seemed okay. So I don't know, it just, something's fussy with it, but yeah. Joe, it is being worked on. Let's just say that. There's more than one reason why I got a second one of these. So good try though. Good try. Good old college try. Alright, so we're gonna plug in our existing TechStep. This is the one I've had for a while. And turn it on, and we get a little dot matrix screen there. It says Apple Computer, and then you identify what machine you're plugging into. And I'm going to say Classic 2, and then you get to run a bunch of tests. So I'm going to set up the second camera here, so you can sort of get an idea of what the heck we're doing while we're doing it. Let's try and situate this so we get a better view with this. Not the best, but we're going to try with what we got. So let's move this little camera. I had a little, there it is. I was like, I had a little tripod. Where'd it go? So we're gonna enhance our SCSI interface for the release. It worked with the BlueSCSI, but only in Mac OS so far. Well, best of luck to you, Adam. That stuff is always a bit finicky, I find, especially with weird setups. All right, so let's try and get this working. We have a picture-in-picture here. There we go. Hey, look at that. We're how fancy we are, and by fancy, I mean wildly unprepared. Alright, so let's move this camera a little bit closer. Hey, fancy that. Alright, so we have a little screen here, and it's sort of like a four line screen, which is pretty neat. So let me turn it on and off and show you what it does. So you turn it on, and you get a little screen here, and so you have two ROM slots. We just had the one and two ROM cards in let me rephrase that. You could install two ROMs. I just have one in there. So it just defaults to the first one here. And you want to identify the CPU they're going to run the tests on. So I'm going to say Classic 2. And then you get to run all these tests and everything. So in order for this to work, we do have to run a lot of cables to our logic board. So I'm actually going to use the cables that were in this bag, because it's going to make life a little bit easier for us. I'm going to go searching around for cables and junk like that. They're all right here. Might as well use them. I paid for them. Why not use them? So we have two serial connections, which is going to be important because this thing is going to fail its serial test. And the reason why I'm doing this, to confirm that it's failing? No, I know it's failing. I'm just curious what else it could detect. And there goes a twist tie, which we kind of need because we're going to lose that forever if we don't. Right. The Persuader. Sounds like Mike's iHammer Pro or iHammer Mini. Alright, so the gentleman who had this before me, well, they kind of did. I thought they labeled something to make it easier for me, but it seems like they did not. They only labeled one end. Oh, no, okay. Alright, so we have a cable with an apple on it, then we have a cable with arrows on it. So I guess that's easier for us. Alright, so let's turn the TechStep off. So we got to plug in cables into the back. This is how it communicates to the Mac. We have serial, ADB, SCSI, and audio for testing the sound output. So this is serial, so that goes into the printer port. And let's see, which board do we want to test? We want to test this Classic 2 that was Ron's. That is Ron's. Is. And I have this little ATX cable that gives us a little bit of wiggle room here, so we could test things externally. So that's going to help us out a little. Let's just get that right there. That's not going to touch anything, is it? Well, just put some cardboard here just so it doesn't touch anything. I don't want any unnecessary sparks here today. We don't need that type of excitement. Okay, so that's the printer port. This is printer. And then we have modem and modem. So these are the two serial ports that are here. Yeah, the Performa 200 is just a rebadged Macintosh Classic 2. That's all it is. But it's neat. Very, very neat. Alright, so we're going to put on... We only have one ADB port on the Classic 2. So we're just going to plug that in. And then we have the audio, which is just the audio out port, and that's going to help us test the sound, which probably doesn't work. And then we have a big honking SCSI cable. I mean, look at this. It's a long boy. Yeah, replace the Classic because it was the Classic 2. It was sold as the Performa 200 in certain educational and business markets. And it came bundled with software and other crap. But that was Apple. They just sold you different machines with different labels on it and called it a day. I mean, a lot of other companies do that. How many versions of HP laptops do you see at Black Friday? And you're like, oh, that's an HP Z9000 5300. Oh my God, barbecue. And it turns out, yeah, it's last year's model with a very specific SKU on there, so you can't figure out what it actually is. And then you can't read that the reviews are horrible, and then you get suckered into buying one. Alright, so we have a bunch of lovely cables going from the back of the Classic 2 to the back of our TechStep. And, yeah, so we're going to set this up here, make sure my chair doesn't get tangled on these wires. Let me see. I'm gonna actually how can I do this? Because I want to show the screen of this machine and the TechStep at the same time. You don't necessarily need to see me. So can we move this down to see the? Yeah, that's close enough. I mean, we're really close to everything, so we're not going to be able to see the screen perfectly, but I want to show you the relation between this and what's going on the screen. If this works, it might not even work because this machine's kind of borked anyway, but and all these cables attached to it, it just adds so much weight to this that it just wants to pull the poor TechStep off of the desk, which of course we do not want to happen. And there goes the camera. Hold. Comedy of errors, I swear. This is my life, folks. This is my life. Come on, just there, please stay just for a little bit, please. All right, so let's see if we can do this without blowing up anything, huh? All right, so we're gonna turn on the Classic 2. We're gonna turn on our TechStep. And we're gonna say Classic 2. We're gonna say test. Turn CPU off. So it's going to tell us to turn this computer off. Now it's going to say turn the computer on. So we're going to turn it on. We're going to say terminate the bus because it's missing because there's no hard drive plugged in. Attempting to enter test manager mode. Could not enter test manager mode via SCSI. Try ADB. Something may be screwing. Just a wee bit. Could not enter test mode via ADB. Try manual entry. Oh my goodness. Back. Let's try that again. Yeah, so this, let's see if I can move this camera around. I apologize if you're going to hear any loud banging noises. There's not a lot of wiggle room with this camera, but we're going to, oh, there it goes. We're going to try. The arm that I have this camera on is not ideal, but yeah, maybe that'll work. All right, so, okay, so we're going to turn this on again. Let's make sure we have, you know what, let's terminate this internal SCSI bus here. Let's see if that'll, I'm going to take the SD card out of our BlueSCSI, just because I don't want it to boot. But at least it'll terminate the bus. All right, let's turn the machine on. Attempting to enter test manager mode via SCSI. So it's trying. This logic board is very finicky. Sometimes it won't even boot. Yeah, and it's not even getting to the cursor. So when that happens, I wiggle the board around in a very scientific way. It wants me to turn it off. The funny thing is I'll turn it off and then, you know, it won't work correctly. And I'll turn it on and work fine. Yeah, we're not even getting a cursor. No worries, Alan. Thank you very much for stopping by. Take care. Color Classic worth $300? Not to me, unless it's been fully recapped. Analog board and logic board. I don't see it being worth that much money. But that's me. That's just me. I'm cheap. Because recapping analog board could easily set you back $100, and the logic board could easily set you back $100 depending on the condition, and the analog board probably a little more than that. Yeah, this is this is not a happy camper. I tell you what, not a happy camper. Yeah, you could find one for under that price. You just gotta be patient. And just rearranging this board slightly. I did replace a SCSI chip. You fell asleep during that. Here's the SCSI chip. We replaced it, along with its friends, the serial chip, the other serial chip, the LS whatever chip, the other LS whatever chip, and the sound chip. Didn't do jack diddly. We're still getting the same problems. I think there's a loose component or connection somewhere inside of the board. I don't know, a bad trace or something. But, yeah. Yeah, I did apply pressure to get it to boot, and then it was fine, and then it stopped. So, not exactly a big fan of doing that, because I don't know what I'm pushing on or whatever. But we could do that again. So I have this Apple power adapter, which is a good size to just lay across like the memory chips. We'll see if we get that cursor. Well, I tried swapping the ROMs. 8 hours was done on this machine. Let's just say that. So this and another board. So what wasn't the ROMs, unfortunately. Yeah, this board is special. We're waiting for Kai to make a Classic 2 board. Yeah, that doesn't want to do anything. The Mac Classic only has one ADB port, I believe. So I'm fairly certain. Where's my neck? Where's my neck? My neck is attached to your head, stupid. I just had a board right here. Wherefore art thou, Classic? Oh, there it is. Stand up. Oh no, it has it has one ADB port. So here's a Classic board. This is original Classic. Got one ADB port right there. Reset the PRAM. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. Well, this has been exciting. Let's show you what a working board does. Just because that's going to be, and I can actually show you how the TechStep works, and we could do something. How about that? So here is which one is this one? No, that one doesn't work either. That's another one of Ron's. That's Ron's special. Here's mine. This is my working board. We have a little sticker on the back. It's all happy and everything. And so we're going to unplug this monstrosity of cables and garbage and plug it into my board here, just to show you an example of how this TechStep works and all the tests it can do and all that fun stuff. Then we'll get on to doing something else. Didn't really have an agenda for this stream, but there is onboard memory. We reseated all the memory. It passed a memory check the last time it actually booted successfully, and it actually recognized the maximum amount of memory when we installed the memory modules. So I know that in that respect it did work. Whether there is something underneath the trace or something that I cannot see, or between the layers of the board that has been flexed or damaged or something, that I do not know. All right, but keep it. It's good to ask questions. It's all right. I mean, I'm not gonna. I tried a lot with this, so I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything when somebody's mentioning suggestions or anything. But let's try this again. So we're gonna turn the TechStep off. I'm gonna turn this on, and we're gonna go to Classic 2, and we're gonna go to Test Mode, and it's gonna say to turn the computer on. So what we're gonna do is turn the computer on. It says SCSI termination missing, so we're going to terminate the bus. So it's going to enter the mode, and you might see a sad Mac on the screen. See, we got the cursors. That's a good sign. Communications established. CPU is in test manager mode. All right, so here we could do all sorts of things. We could look at the power supply, and we could see that we have 4.96 volts. Normal is 4.8. And yeah. Oh yeah, no worries. We tried a lot. I have to ultrasonically clean the board. I have not done that yet. Might do that. The Performa 200 is a rebranded Classic 2. So that's what that is. So let's look at some of the things here. We have CPU ID. So we have that the CPU is actually a Classic 2. And it's going to give us a ROM version, a sub version, and all that fun stuff. Now let's go into some of the tests here. So we have some logic tests that we could run. And so we could run individual tests like the RAM check or the ROM check or any of this stuff. ADB, SCSI, serial, all this stuff. We could do this individually, or we could do it together as a set. So I'm going to just do all of them just to show you how that works. Let me try and position the camera over the screen a little bit better so you get a better view. Let me just adjust the flexible legs of this tripod a little bit to try and get that working just a little bit. We're going to get some glare, aren't we? I think that's the best we're going to get here. My apologies, but this is just an impromptu thing. So let's run all the tests here. And you're going to see the screen's going to flash different colors and stuff. Well, different shades of gray. But we're doing a memory test here. When you get to the video test, you're going to see some funny stuff. And what's cool is this TechStep has an ADB port for data collection. So you could actually send reports to another Mac and print out reports and stuff like that. Hey, Sad Mac, how's it going? Now it's testing the serial controller. And it's testing both of them, both the modem port and the serial port, so this may take a little bit. You can see there's a little progress indicator of it swirling around in the top right. Yeah, this was a hardware test thing that you could buy as an Apple technician. So if you were part of a school group or whatever, or for a business, you could buy it. All right, so that passed. Now it's testing SCSI. And then there were different ROM packs you could purchase. It wasn't cheap, but it made life a lot easier, I would assume. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying. There's a lot of good videos about this thing online, but I haven't done a lot with presenting it. So yeah, now all the logic tests have passed, so that's good. If I wanted to do one individually, let's say like the sound, I could just do that, and it will do a sound test, and it will tell me it passed, which is good. As far as, let's see, if we had a hard drive connected, we could test the hard drive. We don't. We could do more RAM tests, apparently. So standard, extended, and long, so that's pretty neat. ADB status. CPU is on. ADB status test passed. And SCSI termination is on. Oops, there goes the camera. And then we could do a test mode via ADB if the SCSI didn't want to boot up. Let's see what this is. SCSI functions, termination power, termination check, bus scan, bus reset. Yeah, let's check the termination power. So look at that, we're getting 4.72 volts. The normal will be 4.16, so that's pretty neat to find out. And termination check. Termination feature is on. You could leave it off or leave it on, etc. Yeah, well, the the sound out jack is plugged into the TechStep, so you're not going to hear anything. But yeah, so that shows how this is supposed to work and how it wasn't working on the other board. But we're going to try and repair some things today. We're going to see if maybe if you don't mind the buzzing noise in the background, I'm going to turn on the ultrasonic cleaner, and we'll clean Ron's board as we work on something else. So I'm going to turn this Mac off for now. And I'm going to turn off the TechStep here. And we're going to move some things around. Just bear with me here. Hi. Let's see. Which camera do I want to stick to? Just this one for a moment. Just have to move everything around. So this was my original TechStep, and we confirm it's working fine. It just seems like it needed a better power delivery type thing. So let's undo this. Undo the power cord here. That logic board just wants to fly off the table because of all the heavy cables that are attached to it. And we're going to take our time and put all these cables away so we don't lose them, because that would be bad. Alright, so just give me a moment here as I play cleanup. And let's move the camera back to where it belongs. You're going to go for a ride for a second. Whee! Sorry, the camera's right in front of the microphone, so if I bumped it, I'm sorry. Alright, let's... oh, little R2's always there. He's my little mascot. Unofficial mascot. Don't tell Lucasfilm. Alright, so let's put these cables back where they belong. Hopefully dark back there. I usually have one of the lights on, but it's off today. I might turn it on when I get up in a moment, but Mac84 roller coaster ride. Whee! My goodness. So I am toying around with the idea. I'm not sure when I'll do it or what I'll do it yet, but there's a charity that's near and dear to my heart that helps rescued bunny rabbits. And you may know that I have pet bunny rabbits, and me and my wife are in the business of... not business, but we always seem to be in the business of helping them or rescuing them. So there's a rescue that's local to New Jersey that does a lot of awesome work, and I think it'd be cool to try and raise some funds for them. Not billions of dollars or anything, but I mean, hey, who knows? So I might do a stream sometime in the coming week, do like sort of like a Giving Tuesday or fundraiser type thing, and that might be fun. So you know, all the proceeds, right? It wouldn't be through super chats, but it would be like through GoFundMe or whatever. And if anybody is feeling generous, they could watch me, and I'll just plug the heck out of it, and we'll see what happens. But that might be fun. You know, they're a great organization, and anything I can do to help support them is pretty neat. So, all right, so let's continue just wrapping up these cables, getting everything sorted. So I don't want to lose any of them. Well, see, the problem is a lot of my stuff is half working. So when we get to a state where I have duplicate things that are valuable, then we'll talk. But I'm not entirely convinced that's a possibility at this point in time. Oh boy. Well, hopefully everyone's doing well out there. It's a bit of a cold night. I was fiddling around with our holiday decorations and unfortunately discovered that it's like an LED rope that I have set up outside. And I leave it up all year round because I'm not going to take it down. And it's been up there fine for a few years, but it looks like some of the winds we had bent one of the little interconnect points between one LED strip and the other. And it lights up, but it's not really passing the signal through. And it's kind of getting all wonky. So I have to get up on a ladder and fix that. I wanted to wait till somebody else was home, so if I fall off and died, you know, somebody could witness it. And I wouldn't just be sitting around in the driveway in the 40-degree weather, you know, until my wife decided to come home. So, why am I telling you this? I don't know. So that's the TechStep out of the way. We played around with that for a little bit. That was fun. Now let me turn this light on behind us, and I'm going to start turning the ultrasonic cleaner on. I will be back in about a minute. There we go. Give some light and definition to the piles of garbage behind me. That sounds bad when I say it that way, but it's not all that bad, I promise. There's progress being made. Okay, so finally, 3 days of outdoor decorating. My goodness, Dave. Somebody has more time on their hands than I do. Joe is currently troubleshooting a Color Classic analog board. Yes, I saw your stream the other day. I caught bits and pieces of it. That's a bit frustrating. I have, if it makes you feel better, I have 3 that I have to redo myself. Yeah. So yeah. Now looking forward to that. All right. So this is my Classic 2 board. Let's move that there. I do have a new toy to play with. And that is a thermal camera. I'm very curious. Shall I give you a bag of 55-gallon trash bags for Christmas? Joe, that would be helpful. Just put some shipping labels on them. And, you know, I'll send crap to you. Actually, no. No, wait. You can't have my Duodocs. Yeah, let me move this out of the way first. Okay, so... I have it's all priceless artifacts. There's no junk here. I don't know what you're talking about. There. All right, so I know what you guys are going to say when I mention this, but I have my Quadra 840 AV. I know. Just 1 second. I have a new camera, a thermal camera that I got for a good price on eBay. And I'm very curious, with that Quadra 840 AV turned on, if any chips other than the processor are getting exceedingly hot. I couldn't feel anything with my fingers, but I couldn't put my fingers all over the board. Very curious. So I think I want to test that out now, while I have these machines sitting here with the power supplies and junk like that. No, I'm not throwing it away, Adam. Not throwing it away. Never. We're not going to spend too much time on it. I just want to plug it in. Put the camera on it. If I see something cool, if not, I'll do something else. But whatever. Nothing is gonna Yeah, I want to know too, especially since I want to know. Alright. See, the board here is just thrown in the back like garbage because I have no respect for it anymore. Okay, and then we have the power supply, which is still on the desk here, so might as well, because everything's still on the desk here from last time I was fiddling around with this darn thing. Yeah, Jay's a beige expert, so we could just send it to him, and he will smash it into bits and pieces. So, a big old chunky power supply. We got our, where's the fancy cable for it? There it is. Got our ATX dealie, whatever the heck it is, to go from the logic board to that. Ah, okay. Well, hey, you got a good system going on there. Right, so let's just try and plug things in. I'll move the camera so you can actually see what the heck is going on in a moment. But this should all be painfully familiar to most of you. You're really selling it, Steven. You're really selling it. They really want to see this now. All right. And then we have this little camera here, which is going to show us that. All right. So here's a Quadra 840 AV board. Don't tell me these things, Adam. Don't tell me these things. Don't tell me these things. You're triggering me. I'm gonna get all upset and start crying. Okay, so we have there's no memory installed in here. Should probably install some memory. I don't know what that is. That's not gonna do it. I had memory from something. Well, it's not going to do anything anyway. I just want to see how hot it gets. So, thermal camera dealie is over here. Let me go grab that. It's this little Fleur, whatever the heck. I really wish they were cheaper, and I was going to buy a cheaper one, and the cheaper one didn't get the best reviews, and this one came up, and it was cheaper than I thought it would be, and it was on eBay, so I'm like, okay. Oh, boy. Just catching up on the chat you guys sent me. Thanks, Jay. He's plotting something. He is, yeah. These Macs in the background have eyes, apparently. These ones have evil eyes. Oh, that's funny. Oh, you moved the motherboard. Well, there you go. That's fine. All right, so let's open up this app and see if we can do anything with this. I'm going to plug in the little LED for the Quadra just to make ourselves feel like we're accomplishing something, even though we're not. And that LED will light up, and that's about all the life we get out of this lovely Quadra. All right, so let me adjust this picture-in-picture here because you don't need to see me as much as you need to see this Quadra. At least that's my thought process. I don't know what you really want to see, but we'll figure that out, and then you'll not be here anymore. There we go. All right, so we have our thermal camera, which we have to turn on. I'm still figuring out how to use this thing. It's a thing. So there we maybe kind of. All right, so let's plug the power cable in to the power supply of the Quadra. Where's the frickin' port? Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, so we have the thermal mode. You can see how warm and toasty I am. You're not going to be able to see this live, unfortunately. But the board is currently like 65 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to hold this, try and hold this pretty steady. And I'm going to turn the power supply on. I'm going to see if anything looks to get warm. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's turn this thing on. Ooh, lots of stuff is getting warm. I don't know how easy this is going to be able to tell, but this chip here is getting to 84 degrees or so. That is this little U22 chip. It's getting pretty warm. And the camera is resetting itself. We get these 4 chips over here are getting pretty warm. I mean, a lot of things are lighting up. This U50 chip is pretty cold to the touch. Oh, wait, the thing next to it is getting warm. That's U39, whatever the heck that is. This is very useful, I know. I might have to adjust like the color spectrum here to get a better understanding of like what's really getting hot versus what is not. Like that BT chip is getting pretty hot. The processor has a heatsink on it, so I'm gonna take a photo here, just so you could sort of see. No, well, it's gonna have to restart the app, but I don't care. I'll show you what it looks like. So that is what we see. The thermal is pretty neat. So gives us a bit of an idea of some things. I'm gonna go back to the app. I don't believe there's any onboard memory. I can't remember. I looked it up before. I think there is. I don't know. There's onboard video memory, but I have the slots full just in case. I'm hot. Oh, thank you. All right, so anything that's getting really hot, I mean, it's 100 and something degrees. That is right. That doesn't feel warm to me, but see, it's hard trying to understand what is what here. Oh, I see. Oh, this little guy. Oh, that little guy is hot. Okay. That's whatever that is. VR4. The voltage regulator 4 is getting pretty warm. That might be a thing. So let's turn this off. Everything will hopefully cool down in a moment. Yeah, we can see the colors changing. That's neat. So voltage regulator 4 is getting pretty darn hot, but it must be regulating voltage. Well, we have video memory installed. I did have memory installed. It's on the desk somewhere. Here it is. We'll reinstall the memory just to make you happy, but it's not going to do anything. But that voltage regulator got pretty warm. Wouldn't it be funny if that was the cause of the whole thing? Nice, Zodium. Nice. All right, let me try and figure something out here because I want to see if I could get how can I do this? No, I don't think that was going to be a proper way to do that. Well, let's do this then. Let's move the camera again because why not? And we're gonna go like this, and let's see if we could expand this a little bit so you could sort of see the thermal camera fun. I don't know how else to describe it, but I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna hold it like this so you could actually sort of see what I'm looking at, although it's not gonna be perfect. Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. Yeah, maybe. Oh, the glare is terrible. Well, I'm trying. Yeah, so this is VR4. That's the little chip that's there. The voltage regulator 4 is what I'm assuming it is. And you'll see everything sort of... Let me see if I can adjust this. I wish I could do screen sharing from my phone, but... adjustments, colors... rainbow colors, color wheel... Iron. Contrast. Maybe that's... I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out like what colors look easiest to see here. I guess we'll leave it on this one. Measurement. Okay, I'm still figuring out how this works. So yeah. All right, so, yeah, the stupid 848V. I know. I promise we're not going to stick a lot of time on this because nobody wants to. It's still pretty warm. You see my hand. Woo! Yeah, so the processor is still pretty warm. it's putting a... Oh, that's cool. So the warmest part will put a red dot on. Oh, that's helpful. All right, let's turn this sucker up. I know you can't see it. See, I have to... Let me see if I can do this. If I put the camera all the way up, you might be able to see it a bit better. But I don't have a weight. Wait, here's the solder. That's a little heavy. I'll put that on there. So you have to hold the camera out to get a full view of the board. And you're not really going to see that on the camera. Well, I'll take a photo and we'll see. The part number for the voltage regulator, well, I'll just read what's on it. 8, or is that a B? 8L05A XAJJC. So that's again 8L05A XAJJC. So the board is pretty cooled down right now. We're going to see what parts get warm when I flip the power switch. So right now that voltage regulator looks like it's the hottest spot at 110. And that is right there, that little guy. So yeah, that is 120 degrees now. So that probably shouldn't be getting that warm, is my guess. I mean, there could be a problem on the board that's sending extra voltage to that. Who knows? But everywhere else on the board is pretty cool compared to that. Alright, so let's turn this off for a second. Because now we sort of have a lead, kind of. Well, actually, wait, let me turn this back on. I want to take a photo of this. Because I'll post on the Tinker Different forum and torture people or something. Wait for that to get a little hot again. I'll take a nice photo. Alright, so we'll turn that off. Alright, so 1 second, guys. I want to show you the picture here. You know what? Can I send... I'm going to text this to myself. And then we will put it on the screen so you get a good idea of it. All right, so let me do that. 1 moment, folks. Yeah, we're gonna do. Now I'm excited because we can actually do something here. Just give me a moment here. And let me download that image I just sent myself. Yeah, we can check for a short. We can do all sorts of good fun stuff. Which explains why we're not getting ground in some areas, maybe. There might be a short. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. That's why I'm asking around. Alright. Repairs. And where the heck is that text message? I really dislike iMessage and how it syncs sometimes. Because, or the lack thereof. Come on, send the message. There come the pictures. All right, so let's do a. I think I have a screen capture thing here set up. Yep, here we go. Window capture. So let me just capture what we have here, and it's on the screen now. So let me adjust this a little bit. Adjust this so you're not staring at my groin. So here's the image, and the little voltage guy is where the red dot is. So yeah, that's 120-ish degrees Fahrenheit, and apparently that shouldn't be that hot. So we're gonna do some testing and see if we can figure out what the heck is going on there. I do have some of the schematics here. Don't know if I have the schematics for that particular area. Boy, I wish Kai Robinson would hear. He'd tell me everything to know about this particular voltage regulator. Not to say that you guys aren't smart. Joe is probably foaming out his mouth being like, it's just this, you idiot. And we'll work on that, Joe. Don't worry. Alright, so let me just try and find it on the schematics here. See if I could find VR4. Yeah, let me type the part number in now that I don't have my hands full. Be happy to type it into the chat. All right, so this is 8L05A, and then the next line is XAJJC. I hope that asterisk equals an 8. I'm sorry. Yeah, if you say his name 3 times. Extra regulation for that smooth taste. All right, so this is Steve attempts to find something on a thing. Well, what about the new bus slots? We have a little thingamabobber there. Just seeing if there's those are resistors, those are capacitors. I don't even know what a voltage regulator would look like on a schematic, but I'm trying to see. I assume we'd say VR somewhere, but Mauser is down. Oh, that's excellent. That's always handy. Multiple output voltages. That is awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm just pretending I know what I'm doing, so feel free to correct my buffoonery. This camera's white balance is horrible. I'm sorry. It's absolutely horrible. It's the audio. And then we have this guy here, which we did a bunch of testing on. Now, I wonder... That's the ADB port. Six-pin SMT part. Okay. Oh, you know what, Adam? Let me make you a fancy moderator for a period of time. There we go, Adam. You can now spam the chat. I mean, paste a link into the chat. And there you go. But let's move these over here. And now I'm curious as to what pins we could probe this thing for to see words. I'll get there. How much voltage it's actually measuring. So thank you very much for the part number there, Adam. So this is a got quite a few of them. Results of 5. So there are 5 different ones here. Part in datasheet 18. So I guess they're different manufacturers. The Bananator. So there's 5 results in there. Which was the manufacturer that you selected, Adam? I guess that's the best way. No, but Bruce, we look at this. Look at this image that we have it here. This voltage regulator was 120 degrees. Bruce, 120 degrees. It was getting pretty toasty. So we're thinking that might be a problem. All right, I don't know the exact manufacturer of what this is. I guess I'll have to click down into some of these. Let me bookmark this because I have to... oh, I see. There's different little... It would help if I actually open the PDF. 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, Bruce knows I'm in America land, so... All right, so we have an 8-pin one. Should never be that hot. Well, that's great. Who knows if that's actually the cause of the problem or something is feeding it that much. We do have... where's my multimeter here? We do have a little pinout here. So let's see if... Alright, so I opened that one, Adam. Thank you. I'm just going into continuity mode here, because if this is to be believed, which I would assume it is, then these two should be ground. Let's unplug this. All right, so those are ground. All right, so the problem here. All right, so we those. All right, so all these 4 pins that are ground, ground, and then there's no connection here, no connection there. So then we have the voltage in, the voltage out. So voltage in, voltage out. Okay, so those are not going beep anywhere, so that's good. Hey, Joel, how's it going? So the voltage in and ground, or the voltage out and ground of this little pin? What should I do? I guess we could do both. We could try in and... So, just running this by you here. I'll put a pin on the voltage in and put a pin on the ground, and then a pin on the voltage out and a pin on the ground, and just measure. Does that sound practical? Or is that going to blow me up? I don't think it would, but stranger things have happened. Let's just say that. So Joe is saying lick it. Okay, Joe. That's what I'm hearing from you. Steve, why are you blaming everything on me? It's easier that way. I love you, Joe. Don't worry. All right, so let's turn our multimeter on, and let's well, we don't need this picture up right now, do we? We could hide that. And let's see if we can get this sort of in a better way where it's not totally at my crotch, but yeah. Okay, so let's see. Let's just confirm what we're doing here. So voltage out would be the one towards me, and voltage in is the one away from me. And ground is a safe pin to be away from over there. Let's swap our probes around so we're actually doing what we're doing. We are working on a Quadra 840 AV. I know, but we have a thermal camera, and it looked like this chip was getting stupid hot. It's a voltage regulator, so we're very curious of the voltage of it. So let's try it out. 11 volts going in, and 5 volts going out. Okay. That seems to be in spec. 11.87 volts going in. And we have 4.965 volts going out. And let's try it with the power off. Shouldn't be doing anything because the power's off. But it's going down. Yeah, so although that thing was getting stupid hot, it seems to be doing its job. 12 volts in, 5 volts out. Something downstream is drawing a lot of current. Yeah, it is. It's probably shorting, and we don't know what is shorting. Maybe we should turn the board upside down and see if anything on the upside down port is like glowing red hot. 12 volt in, 5 volt. Well, I mean, it's powered on. Maybe I'm missing a few movies in the back. What's this? Yeah, so this 840 AV I purchased for $5 in the early 2000s. I loved this machine. It worked fine. And in 2017, when I started doing YouTube stuff, I thought I could recap this, and it didn't work. And ever since then, I've been trying to get it to work, and every time I look at it, I'm putting more traces on the board to resolve things and all this stuff, and it's just a comedy of errors at this point. So every time when I feel sad or I just want to torture myself, I play with this. And yeah. So we do have memory on here. I'm not going to really install that right now. I'm just going to flip this over and just, I don't know, see if we can see anything glowing red hot under it. How about that? Oh, it's such a big-ass awkward board. So where's my little phone? There it is. Yes, it does have soft power, but there's a big power button I'm pushing, which turns it on. So we don't have to worry too much about the soft power when there's a power button on it. At least that's my understanding. Alright, so we're waiting for this thing to start up here. 12-volt is always on normally. Huh. Hey Alex, how's it going? Alright, so the battery is low on this, apparently. But let me see if I can zoom this out so you guys can sort of see exactly what I'm seeing to an extent. Alright, so here's the back of the board. And we're going to turn... Where's the power thing? It's over here. Let's see if anything on the bottom gets hot. Oh, shut up, you multimeter. Alright, so these two resistor packs are getting quite toasty. So we're messing with the Quadra 840 AV, using a thermal camera, trying to see what gets hot. As to, what might be a problem on the machine. Who knows? So those seem to be... Well, that's also... So this area is right below the CPU. And that's getting quite warm. What is over here that's getting warm? We have a... I don't know what that is. That's right. Ooh, I wonder if that's a short. I wonder if there's just like a little short there. 'Cause that's getting 90 degrees. And I'm trying to see exactly what it is. It's above that chip. It's a little baby resistor. Little tiny ass resistor. Right there. Right there? Yeah. Huh. I'll have to take a better look at that. I mean... Above there is getting warm, but I mean, this is just the bottom of the board. I'm not... Yeah, let me take a picture of that. And let's turn that off. Yeah, so these are resistor packs by the NuBus cards, and that's pretty warm. They got very warm. And the digital signal processor for the SCSI is right here, so that got pretty warm. CPU is over here. Oh boy, game is afoot. Oh boy. Yeah, Sean will be like, bye. So according to the photo I took here, so right here was a very warm section, and that is right there. This little resistor pack. I don't know. That's R158. I don't know why that would be so warm. Now, it is a little crooked. I wouldn't say it's, like, damaged. But it doesn't look too happy. I don't know why that would get so warm. But, yeah. And then this was the area right below that SCSI chip. So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to solve this today. I don't think so. It's just curious to see what was going on here. Feel free to shout out ideas, but I'm not entirely too confident of what's going on here. So, oh boy. This silly wire is always so hard to check for a direct short on the bay resistor. Well, we could let's unplug this first, just because I could manage this without this big power supply on my desk, I could actually use the microscope. So, I need the power supply over here. Yes, Ron, but we have the power of thermal imaging, which has led us to believe that there's things that... Oh, sorry for the squeak. Sorry. That maybe giving us a clue or just sending us a wild goose chase. We don't know yet. These are just things we do not know. Sorry. Let's not look at my junk anymore. We don't need to see that. There we go. How about that? It is. All right, so this area was getting super duper warm. So I'm just curious. I mean, I had to do some trace repairs in the vicinity. I'm just curious if this is actually... Well, you guys can see on the camera, but mine is all blurry here. Let me fiddle with this to adjust it so I can see, and then I'll adjust the camera. One moment, please. Wow, I can't see crap out of here. What's going on? I gotta clean this thing. That's what I gotta do. Okay. Oh, all right. You guys see pretty good. All right. So this little guy was getting very hot, and it's connected. So this big thing of hair right there. No, I was just looking at it to see if something was cracked or charred or I don't know. I don't know. Thank you very much, Ron, for the super chat. Where's the other camera? Eep! Contributing to the WD-40 fund. You cursed the camera. Look what you did. Look what you did, Ron. Go back to playing your Prince of Persia where nobody gets hurt except the virtual character. Oh, gosh, this is a weird angle. The short would be after the resistor if it's getting hot. Well, I mean, yeah, I need to sit down and trace where the heck this is going, and I honestly don't have the patience for that right now, so we're not gonna do that. But I took photos, so yeah. I don't know what the hell to do with this thing anymore. Let's just take a look at that resistor pack, the voltage regulator. Just want to show you where that was on the board, so you get an idea for that. And that's this little guy right here, little voltage regulator. That's what was glowing at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and it seemed to be doing its job. It was, taking in 12 volts and spitting out 5 volts. We measured it, but yeah. Anyway, I'll have to bribe Kai or somebody to come over here and hit it with a hammer. I mean, fix it. But hey, Ryan, how's it going? My goodness, a bunch of people here today. I don't even know what to... what happens when I turn it on? Well, that's what you were seeing. It doesn't turn on. That's the problem. Oh, we should check the ultrasonic cleaner, which we've been warming up. It's probably bubbling right now. Hold on. Alright, so the ultrasonic cleaner is all toasty and warm. So we're going to grab both of Ron's problematic boards and take them for a little dip. Well, that just means, Bruce, that you need to get a thermal camera too. Don't try and fear me with your sorcerous ways there, Bruce. We'll turn these tables right back to you. Alright, so this goes over here. That's my working board. And we'll take this one here. And we'll take Ron's problematic one here. I've tried it with memory. I will do that again, Thomas. Just for you, because you're a pal. Your good old buddy old pal there. I want to make sure you're satisfied. And I'm going to take these ROM chips off because they have the little paper. Get a big shot of my head there, sorry. I'm just going to take these ROM chips out of their sockets before I put them in the ultrasonic cleaner because they have a little paper label on them. And don't want that to get completely obliterated in the ultrasonic cleaner. Take a picture of this. Yeah, no worries, Tom. So hopefully everybody is doing well tonight. I know I said that a little bit earlier, but we have had people join since then, and you're just getting a view of my head. That's not fun. Nobody wants to see my big fat head. Of course, the PRAM battery holder is right next to one of these ROM chips, which makes it so exciting to get that loose. Alright, so let's take these off the board then. Yes, I hope it's enjoyable for you folks. I didn't really have an agenda today. I was just going to poke around with what I had and see where the evening took us. So we are going to ultrasonically clean Ron's boards. Unfortunately, they will be needing to dry and all that stuff, so I would not expect to have an update on those later today, but at least we will know that you guys will have an update of that fairly soon, depending on what happens. Well, thank you very much, Aaron of MPLS. More for the squeaky arm gets the grease fund. Eep, thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Yes, I will have to I need to clean this whole microscope, including the squeaky arm. So thank you very much for the funds towards that. All right, let me put these boards in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I will be back in a moment. Hopefully that noise is not too annoying to you. Yeah, that's the ultrasonic cleaner going, making all sorts of fun noises. Okay, so let's put some memory in this thing, and we'll try to see if it makes different noises. Noises, but you know what I mean. Different pictures, pretty pictures on the thing. A technical term. Alright, so the power supply, and we need the camera back on here. What are we doing, Steven? What are we doing? I don't know. I really don't. We're just trying to entertain you nice people. Alright, so here's the chunky power supply here. Where's the where's the where's the thing with the cable? I looked at all the sides already. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh gosh, Steven. Oh gosh. I'll do it sort of like that, and then the power plug can plug in there. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me just scroll up here. Wake up, eat a coffee, cake, take bath, take nap. I like that agenda. Minneapolis. Yes, I see it. I was assuming that, but I don't. I know people have a lot of different acronyms for their names, and I didn't want to assume things, because then I would have made an ass out of myself. All right, so I have two memory modules. These are 32 megs each, so I don't want to fry these, but I don't think it would hurt them, hopefully. Now, we have 4 slots for memory here, for DRAM, and these came from my Quadra 800, so hopefully they'll work fine in a Quadra 840 AV. Yeah, so I guess, well, actually, let's look at the manual for this thing, because I'm just curious which slots have to be filled with memory. If we're gonna do this, we'll do it the right way. Alright, so memory. Expandable up to 128 megabytes of memory. Yeah, this is a big fan. Right, let's scroll down to memory. These are... That's that. Doesn't really tell us, does it? Why would it? Why would it? Testing the battery. Let's see. It doesn't really tell us about the memory here, and I only have 2 modules, so I guess I'll just put it in. So we have J25, J26, J27, J28. I guess I'll put it in the earliest number and the one right next to it. There we go. We have memory installed. Also makes julienne fries. Okay. Alright, let's turn on the fancy thermal camera here, which I still have no idea what I'm doing with, but we'll try. Okay, and wait for this thing to turn itself on. The battery's running low on this, so I'm going to have to charge it again. Oh, 41%. Oh, never mind. That's not that bad. I thought it said 10%. Alright, so we have memory in here. We don't have a speaker plugged in. I did have a speaker. Somewhere long ago there was a speaker, but it's not going to chime anyway. So what the heck am I worrying about it? That'd be funny if it was a chiming this whole time, but we had no idea. That's highly illogical, but just checking to see. I thought I just saw a speaker around here. I could just be misremembering horribly. But no, we've had speakers plugged in before, and it did absolutely nothing. Sorry to be an Eeyore, but yeah, that's the truth of it. Just checking this drawer here. I have an old TV speaker. Does that help? No, it doesn't? Okay. Well, we have one in case we need one. Let me just check. Is it just like hiding somewhere? Did I like move it somewhere? Boy. This is always fun when you think you know where something is, or you don't. You know, either or. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's falling on the ground. This is why you should plan your streams before going live. This is just advice to the other people. I'm not going to follow it. But you know, there's other people out there. Hopefully. Or I've just been talking to myself for years. Oh wait, did I put it in here? Am I an idiot? And did I put it in here with all my parts? No, but I dropped my parts on the ground because I was looking for them now. Hi. This must be so exciting. 1,000 apologies. Adam, you and the floppy emu. MU, whatever it is. Let me stand up for a second. Sorry. Why am I apologizing? I don't know. Let me check over here. Look what I found, Adam. Found my floppy MU. Woo! It was in a bin that got there. I don't know how it did that. There the whole time. The whole damn time. Well, I had a terribly rusty Performa 400, so I stole the speaker from it. Throw it away. Alright, so this looks all very crusty, but this thing isn't going to work anyway, so who cares? It's not going to let me insert it, is it? Alright, well, let's get this crap show on the road, shall we? So, chime! Wow, it chimed! How about that? No, it didn't. Alright, so let's just see if anything is, having a slightly different effect. If I held the camera the right way, that would help. Now that, we have memory installed. I wouldn't expect it, but, yeah, that voltage regulator is still getting toasty. That SCSI chip, the center of it is getting toasty. those capacitors right next to it, the capacitors right next to it are getting very toasty. About 100 degrees. I guess that's not too toasty. I can hardly feel that, so. Isn't that another voltage regulator? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that is another voltage regulator. That's getting hot too. Not as hot, but it's like 100 degrees hot. We have this little chip here. It's getting kind of warm, but yeah, again, it's lighting up like a Christmas tree, but doesn't really tell us much. Yeah, the VRAM is very, very not warm. Neither is the memory. So my guess is that electricity or power is not really getting to those modules. Something is shorting out, because this is the memory right here, and there's nothing happening there. The same with the video memory. Absolutely dingus. Cold, cold, cold. So there's a short somewhere, and that's what we're trying to figure out here. I mean, this is the AT&T signal, well, one of the signal processors. It's getting pretty warm. The VLSI thingy, that's getting pretty warm. These 4 chips here are getting warm. CPU's getting warm. This guy right here, not really that hot. Oh yeah, the CPU always gets hot. That's the thing that gets really toasty. That's why the heatsink's still on there, because otherwise this thing would get quite toasty by itself. But the hottest thing, it seems, on this board is that voltage regulator. Wait for this to calibrate itself. The other voltage regulator is also hot. Yeah, so. And these U37, U33, U34, and U38 chips are quite warm as well. They are 108 degrees, but oh boy. So yeah, let's turn this thing off. Put the poor thing out of its misery for a moment. The camera is very neat, and I'm going to use it for more than just computers, so it was well worth getting it. But just curious, because I want to know these things. I doubt the voltage regulator is getting anything when it's off, but yeah, we're getting 3 microvolts in and 0 microvolts out when the machine is off. So that explains that. Let's see. Romance. So the new that FLIR camera for the iPhone is like $400 something. Ridiculous. I got mine on eBay for under $200, and they're consistently selling for under $200. So yeah, not terribly bad. The cheapo ones from Harbor Freight are about $160 on sale, and they have a screen that's like this big, and it doesn't allow you to take as detailed measurements because the sensor is much smaller. Excuse me. Yeah, I actually was going to use it to find cold spots in the house. So there you go. All right. Yeah, this is a FLIR Pro, whatever the heck. I don't know which one, but it's a pretty decent one. All right, so let's. I want to test the voltage regulator over here. This guy. Here's another one, voltage regulator 3. I just want to test that to see if that's doing the proper thingamajig. Proper readout. Words are hard. Words are very hard. Put that there. All right, so let's not electrocute ourselves. Ground. So that's that. Oh, so that time we're only getting 7 volts in, and we're getting 4.5 volts out. So that voltage regulator is acting a little bit different. So again, we're getting 7 volts in and just about 5 volts out on that voltage regulator. And let me see if there's any other. Let me turn this off. Let me see if there's any others on the board that we could easily test that are of the same little package there. Let's see if that part number is the same. Yep, exactly the same. 8L058 XAJJC. That's the exact number as the other one by the new bus slots. That is VR3. The one by the new bus slots is VR4. So I'm assuming there's at least maybe one or two more on the board. They might look different. But I'm not seeing one right away. Excuse me. And the ultrasonic cleaner has stopped making its noises, so that's good, I guess. It's just a wild goose chase at this point, isn't it? It is very curious that this and the VRAM and the memory are getting cold. You know, there's no voltage being passed through them. So there has to be a short or something somewhere that is not happy. But what do I know? What do I know? Just taking a look on this board, see if I see anything. But yeah, I think it's Oh, well, thank you very much, Arrested Lightning, for the details. So 7.5 volt is the expected input voltage for VR3 per the schematic. What page of that schematic? What page is that on of the schematic? Right, cut the schematic on the board. Looking over the past few minutes. VR3 first page near the first page near the top. Thank you very much. Let's open that up. Excuse me, on my screen. I really appreciate that. Thank you for taking a look. Yeah, Harbor Freight is one of those stores where it's very difficult to go into without spending any money. It's like, oh, I could use a screwdriver. I could use that. Yeah, I know it's cheap, but yeah, I could use it. Oh, yeah, here we go. VR3 and VR4. Here we go. So, yeah, 7.5. And the output is 5. Oh, cool. Okay, so that's right there. And so it looks like VR4, if I'm reading this correctly, the input is 12 and the output is 5. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. Alright, so I mean, they seem to be within spec, so that doesn't really tell us anything. They're getting warm, but they're doing their job, apparently. What is concerning, obviously, is that the memory is not getting warm, and neither is the video memory, which leads me to believe that, you know, as we played around with the last stream, something with the startup sequence is not going correctly, which is bad. So let's take a pause with this machine. I don't think we're going to get any further with this today, with this particular machine, that is. But it was something that I was very curious about. And maybe I'll post it to the Tinker Different folks, and they'll be much smarter than I am, and they'll be able to figure something out. Huh? Check the voltage on the RAM. Well, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, because that's going to take me a while. I'm going to have to look at the schematics and see which pin is what and everything. And we know there's a short or something weird with the ground on this board anyway. So I think it's just going to be one of those things we're just going to keep coming back to every few months. And every time I stream it, everyone's going to be like, oh, not that again. But I do appreciate everyone's patience and everyone's input on that. Alright, I have some boards I have to do some touch-up work on. Let me see if I can grab one of those, and we could work on one of those. Yeah, I just realized the board I want to work on, I'd have to bring out the. Let me move the camera here. I'd have to bring out the Performa 550, and that's not plugged in right now. I was gonna mess with my friend Frank's board. He has a 550 he sent me, and I recapped it, and it works, but the sound doesn't work. And I put a new sound chip on it. It worked temporarily, and then it didn't work afterwards. So I'm just struggling on what else to do. I don't even know how long we've been streaming, because that's what happens. Oh, all right, we've been going for 2 hours now. So trying to think of what else we could do without going too crazy here. I do have to take those boards out and clean them, but that's not something we're going to get to right now. Any ideas? Throw them out there. Trying to think of what else we could look at today, or if it's just going to be a short stream. I know nobody wants that, but oh my goodness, it is. Is that the right time? Yeah, it's almost 11 p.m. here. I know that was a quick 2 hours. But Ron's boards are in the ultrasonic cleaner. They're all done now. So, status of the Macintosh portable is I need to move. See these. I should move this way if we're going to point. This table is just full of junk right now. This was stuff that was elsewhere. This table has to be cleared off so I could put the Macintosh portables on. I need space to work with them. This desk is not going to cut it. I need space to lay out the case parts and everything as I grab them and stuff. So I need to actually do that. I need to move this stuff so I could actually get some of that set up there. Because I have not only my portable to do, I have another client's portable, and another client has 2 portables that they gave me to do. So I need to dedicate some space to that, so that is something I have to do. Dave's BlueSCSI. Of course we could do your BlueSCSI. That's an excellent idea. And it is upstairs. Let me go grab that. Thank you, Dave, for the reminder. Let's get that done. We could do your BlueSCSI. How about that? So I'm going to put you on the Be Right Back music here. And thank you very much, Dave, for the reminder. It always slips my mind. And I'll be right back in a moment. So Joe is into purchasing people's feet now. Or selling feet. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so I got my BlueSCSI here. This is not mine. This is from my good friend Dave of Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. He has a great YouTube channel. And Dave, why don't you put a link in there to your YouTube channel, please? We have the BlueSCSI version 1.0-C. And I see Tom has written a lovely note here. And he says, remember to check the direction and placements of the RNets, Steve. Love, Tom. He didn't write love, but I know it's I know it's with love. Thank you very much, Tom. And that refers to the first live stream that I put one of these together. I put the resistor nets on the wrong way. And boy, that was a mistake. But thankfully, I didn't cause any damage to anything. But thank you, Tom. So this is the BlueSCSI. It's a SCSI hard drive emulator. As you may know, early Macintosh computers use SCSI for their hard drives, and hard drives are hard to find working. Big old SCSI hard drives. So the BlueSCSI is one of the replacements. It's basically a hard drive emulator that uses a little Arduino Blue Pill and a custom PCB. And the current version that I have here is the 1.0c. I think there's a slightly newer revision that you could find on their website, which is scsi.blue. And look at these lovely ImageWriter 2 printed instructions. I love this. I'm going to be passing this along to Dave because it's his. I'm just putting it together for him. Thank you very much, Dave, for putting your link in the channel. Everyone click on the channel link that Dave put in there, and please give him a subscribe. He does excellent Apple content there. And how do you blow up a BlueSCSI? And check his channel out. He does a lot of awesome things there. And so, 10C is the latest one at the moment. Is this the one where the RNets are all the right way? Or is this like the... I know there's a revision that I've heard whispers of. I've heard whispers. And I don't know if this is the newest one or not. I know that there's one being tested. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I should just shut my yap. I shouldn't be talking. Oh, he blew up a SCSI to SD. Okay. Well, yeah, you can't blow up a BlueSCSI. They're indestructible, right? Will the BlueSCSI work in a regular PC? I know there's different compatibility with different machines. Check out the scsi.blue website. But we have Tom here, who's like an expert on the BlueSCSI. I mean, he sells these things. And they're only about, what, $25, $30 a non-assembled. And then that's the assemble it yourself kit. Or they are like $50 assembled. So they're really not that expensive. We specialize in yellow Mac Plus. Alright, so the little PCB is very firmly in the little case. So we're going to try and... Oh, it's screwed in there! Look at that, there's a little screw in there. I was like poking around and I'm like, why is it not coming out? Look at that, we have fancy screws now. Let's take that out. I apologize, my Phillips screwdriver is upstairs, so I'm using a flathead. And I should just stop noodling around with that and just find another Phillips screwdriver. Which is right here. Okay, let's put that in a little bag so we don't lose it. I see we have, there we go. All right, excuse me. So here is the fancy little BlueSCSI PCB. We're going to be putting this together. Let me just put that to the side. We're going to take all the little parts out of the bag here. And look, Dave, you're going to get a little BlueSCSI sticker. How about that? So I'm going to put that back in the bag. I am just the assembler. And I will test this and give you an SD card and all that good stuff. Okay. So let's make sure we got all the bits and pieces that we need. Let's get this big honking power supply out of the way. We're not going to need that right now. We all know the long spinning rust plates last. Yes, and that's that's why these little emulators and devices come in handy. The ROS-SCSI is also another good one. The BlueSCSI and the SCSI2SD is great too. I do not have a Mac SD, which is another one of them, but I hear those are pretty good too. All right, so let's get all this settled and move my microscope. Sorry. Because we want to do some work on this. All right, so we have our little Arduino Blue Pill here. And I'm not going to be a fool like last time. I'm going to open up the instructions and follow along. Because that's what you do when you want to do things right and when you're actually working on something for a client or a friend. Okay, so let's go to scsi.blue, a fantastic website. And here's what one looks like finished. I have the SCSI cable plugged into it, but that's what it looks like when it's finished. Okay. All right, so assembly. Assembly instructions. Alrighty, so let's plug in our soldering iron. Let's turn that on. Let's make sure we have our flux, which we do, and our solder, and our coils, and our little fan. That's going to blow a lot of those fumes away. I do have to get one of those fume extractors. Hopefully, I will be able to purchase one in the coming month or so. All right. Yes, they do sell assembled ones. They are about $50 or so, depending on who's selling them and stuff like that. So check out scuzzy.blue. That's the website, scuzzy.blue. You can find out all the information there. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the instructions here. And we're going to put the diodes on first. So we got our little diodes here. Oops, that's my fingernails. That's the diodes. There's the diodes. And so they have extra long little poles here. And we're going to put them in the proper place here. And this is going to be the world's slowest BlueSCSI build, but that's just how it is. So we're going to put the stripe on the component facing towards that side of the board. And you know what? I need my pliers here to bend them, because that's going to make it a little easier, or my tweezers. These are fairly small. So you just want to make sure that you could bend the leg there. These are kind of like fun to put together, like little puzzles to me. I have two myself. I'm a very satisfied customer. Excuse me. To bend that just a little bit more to make that sit nice and as flush as it can. Okay, so the little diode is sitting right there on the board. It's all happy. So the stripe is facing the square pin there. I hope I've satisfied them. If not, what the heck am I still doing here? Okay, and these diodes can be a little bit of a tight fit, so it's just how they are. Alright, so both of those are here, and we just have to solder them and clip their legs. So everything stays in place. Now, I use a lot of flux. That's just how I solder. That's a little easier for me. Yeah, and I'm still trying to find those capacitors that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg, Mike. Alright, so it'd help if I'm looking through my microscope and not, just my eyes. That's a little silly of me. Okay, so there we go. Everything seems to be in good shape. Now we're going to clip those legs because they are quite long. We don't need them that long. Excuse me. I broke a pair of my clippers, so I have to find the pair that... Actually, I have wire cutters. I guess I could just use that. Yeah, I can just use that. Kind of blue. Well, thank you very much, Shady Robot, for the super chat. Yep, it is kind of blue, kind of real blue, but this is a good kind of blue. Yeah, I'm gonna need to find my clippers, but we'll just cut these off for a little bit here, and then we'll come back and tidy that up. Promise, Dave. These clippers are way too big. I'm not going to get anywhere near close as I need to. Okay. No, I don't need more dead SCSI hard drives. I have plenty. Mike, it's not lost, you silly goose. Okay, so solder the correct pins of the headers of the bumper. Solder the heads. The blue pill, the blue side. Oh, you know what I should do? I should get the SD card slot out of the way, because that people say that's a tricky part, and you know it is a little bit tricky. So let's get that out of the way first. Little micro SD card slot here, and we're gonna use plenty of flux. And Bruce could do this in his sleep, I know, but I'm not as skilled as he is, so it takes me longer. I should have followed that instruction first, but I skipped it because I'm silly. SCSI hard drive. Where? Alright, so we're just going to anchor this down with the little points on the side of where this should be. Zoom out a little bit. This something is slightly off with this way my microscope view is today, and it's driving me a little crazy, I must say. I think that's about where I'd want it. I don't think that's 100% on there, but we're gonna do it again. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think that'll work out nice. Right, so just gonna put a little bit more anchor points here. Just finish that. We need more solder on there. We don't have enough on the tip of our iron. Now we have too much. It's ironic. All right. But we want to make sure this works nicely for our friend Dave. Yeah, I can't imagine really doing this without a microscope. I'd mess it up for sure. I know I would. I know I would. And we have two little parts there, or one little part there. See, it would help if I was using the tip of the soldering iron correctly. I don't know what, my vision is screwed. Maybe just my eyes are breaking. Sorry folks, my eyes broke. I can't do a stream today. Broken eyes. I've got the stupid eyes today. Alright, and then we're just gonna, not do too much, just do a little bit of drag soldering here to make sure all those pins have a connection, but we don't put too much on there, which would prohibit our SD card from actually inserting into that slot there. Alright, so we're going to test this by putting an SD card into the slot there. So I'm going to grab mine from my BlueSCSI here. If I could pick it up with my fingers. Got stupid eyes and stupid fingers today. Alright, so here's the SD card. And look at that. It slides in. It slides out. We got some flux on it, but that's okay. That'll all clean up nicely. Excellent. Alright, so speaking of cleaning it up, let's just clean that up a little bit. We have some of our isopropyl alcohol here. I say that as I look around for the bottle. There it is. I moved it. Like I said, it's the world's slowest BlueSCSI build, but we're just taking our time here, friends. Tidy that up there. Excellent. All right, and we'll give this a good clean when we're all done. But there's a lot more soldering to do. This is going to get a lot dirty. It is always slower when you're doing something, on a stream or in person, etc. So that is very, very accurate. Okay, so we put the little diodes on, and now we have to solder the headers for the blue pill. And so those are these guys here. So this is the two little areas where the blue pill headers go, like that, and then the blue pill sits, on top of it. So we're just going to make sure we have this all in correctly. Let's read correctly. Let's read fully, as I can't read and talk at the same time. Solder the header pins to the blue pill, then the blue pill to this guy. The correct orientation is having the USB connector of the blue pill over the SD card slot. Consider adding headers to the board if you would like to have the blue pill removable. Okay, so we're just going to solder these to the board. And to do that, we're going to flip it over, and we're just going to do some anchor solder points here, just so things don't fall out like they just did. But we'll fix that in a moment. I know Bruce has a very fancy method of doing this. He has a little holder that he built, that he 3D printed to help him, because he does a lot of these. But this is only the third one I'm assembling, so I mean, eventually I'll need I'll need a lot more of these devices. But make sure that's all straight. It's as straight as I can get it. I'll show you up close what we're doing in a moment. I just can't really move things without screwing this up right now. Okay, and do the same thing on this side. So what I'm basically doing is I'm just putting solder on the 4 pins outside of the connector, so we have one on each side, because we have 2 rows of headers here. And that's just going to make sure that header stays in place. So I soldered this point here, and this point where is it? Here and here. And this is out of focus. Sorry guys. It's just that there's a lot of things going on and I'm not paying attention. There. The depth of the board is not helping either. But anyway, yeah, so that's these yellow headers, so we installed those on. So now we have to put the rest of our pins to solder them to the board, because we just had those 4 just to anchor it in place. And now I'm just going to do the rest of them. And yeah, so there's a little jig that Bruce made that makes this process a whole lot easier, but I don't got one, so I will just deal. But I tell you, if I'm going to assemble more than a few of these, I would definitely want one of those. It would probably save me a heck of a lot of time. And I'm just putting a liberal amount of flux on the board to help me for this, and we'll have to clean that off later so it doesn't make a big mess. But all right, so get a big blob of solder on here, and we're gonna solder these pins. There's quite a few of them, so and I'll go over this and double check my work once the initial soldering has taken place. Not really looking at the microscope actually, because it's a little bit easier to do this just by eye, and that is why you're not seeing anything, because I am an idiot. But that's okay. We're just hanging around being pals, having fun, right? That's right. Excellent. So that one needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So we'll come back to clean those up a little bit, but not looking too bad. So next row, we're going to do exactly the same thing. And I'm just redoing these because my eyes are just bugging out. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'll stop talking about them because it's not going to solve the problem. I didn't eat enough carrots. I didn't eat enough carrots. I just need like a lot more solder on the tip of my iron here. That seems to be the problem 90% of the time. I'm usually just doing surface mount stuff, so the through-hole stuff is always needs a little bit adjustment from my peepers and my brain. But we'll assemble this and we'll test it to make sure that it is actually working correctly and all that fun stuff before we bring it to have it sent off to our good friend Dave of Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Because he has a Macintosh Plus that's just dying for a new drive. And I'll put an OS on there for him and everything. But that's the beauty of the BlueSCSI. It's so easy to install an operating system. You don't need to format it a special way or anything like that. You just download an image or a blank image, and you have a formatted disk, and you're good to go, basically. Okay, that didn't want to take. Need more flux, I guess. I mean, Hand-eye coordination is not top-notch today. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's better this stream is an 8-hour stream. I'd be like stabbing myself by the end of it. Okay, so we're going to go over this with a careful look and make sure we didn't screw anything up. Let me just catch up on the chat. Oh, thank you very much, Joe. Take the solder to the joint for heaven's sake. Eyes hurt. Eyes bad. Eyes bad. Yeah, it's probably easiest if I do it that way. Thank you very much, Joe. Eep! For correcting me of how I do things, because I'm an idiot. We're going to retitle this stream. Steve is an idiot. Let's just scroll up. Yes, Bruce can dance a jig. You have to have me assemble it. Thanks, Mike. Alright, so let's take a look here just to make sure we didn't screw up too badly, huh? And let's look at it from an angle, because that's going to help us. Yeah, that one we totally missed somehow. And it's always awkward to hold this iron in a weird spot. There we go. Alright, and then the second row, let's just take a look at that. And I apologize if you're not as in focus as my microscope is to my viewfinder here. I'm getting a slight headache and my eyes are all like, bleh. So... yeah, we could clean some of that up, but everything's making a good contact, so I think we're okay. All right, so, oh, that's one of those little soldering holder reel thingies that I saw you using on your stream. Okay, add to list. Where's the add to list button? There it is. Add to list. All right, cool. Thank you, Joe. All right, so next step is the resistor nets for termination. Yay! Alright, so this is going to be fun. Let's put these on and make sure we do these the correct way as Tom and Eric intended. So we have to make sure, because there are two different types of resistor packs here. We have to make sure we're putting them in the proper orientation and in the right spot, or we'll make everything sad. Alright, so we have the 221 is the 220s, and the 331 is the 330s. So how this works is you just have to put the right ones in the right spot, in the right orientation. That's the real trick here. So the 221s go like this. Now I'm going to triple check this, because I don't want to make the same mistake. Then we swap them around, because this has to go backwards. And that one goes there, because that's where the first pin is. And we do the same for the 330s. And then we swip that around. Why won't this one go in the... oh, that leg is just slightly bent, so it didn't want to go in. There we go. They're all happy. So we have the 220 and the 331. Let's try and focus this, so Tom will be able to sleep well tonight knowing that I didn't screw it up. And then if we look over here, the label is not showing because that's how it is, how it's oriented. So there we go. Alright, so yeah, sorry, it's a little hard to focus because it's at an angle here. So I'm just going to hold these in with my fingers here as I put some flux with my other hand on just one or two of the pins here, just so we could just solder a leg or two and make sure that those aren't going to go anywhere while we make progress on the board here. Alright. Wish I had a third hand sometimes. That'd be so useful. Although I guess if I had a third hand, that'd be weird. Give me 2 extra hands. Then we're all squaresies. All right, cool. So we got all those attached. So we're just gonna add some more flux there and make sure all of those connectors are going to be connected to the board properly. Yay! Gonna follow Joe's suggestion and bring the solder to the pins. I mean, what a concept. I'm getting dizzy looking at this thing. I don't know why. Just like the angle or what, but this is much faster. And I think this is actually how I did it the first time, but I didn't learn that good today. I was like, huh? What? So who out there has a BlueSCSI? I love these little things. I need a lot more. I have a lot more Macs. I have no hard drive or a broken hard drive in them. I just have to order like a whole stack of PCBs and all the parts. I know some of those parts are a little difficult to source at the moment with shortages and junk like that. But hopefully that clears up soon, because I could use a few. All right, I temporarily have 7 BlueSCSIs. Oh, Jay, and you didn't want any of them. You said it was going to be a waste of time and money. You silly, silly, silly boy. But I think all of those look good to my eye. Some of them are at a bit of an angle, so it's hard to see exactly, but I think everything's okay. So those are all the resistor nets installed. Oh, soldering iron fell over. That could have been bad. You stay there, please. Alright, so let's move on. Tom does ship them out fast. We're making Jay angry. That's what else is new. He's angry at something. It's the beige meanies. Just, you know, doesn't like the beige. I mean, he loves the beige, but he says he doesn't. I think he's in denial. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. All right, now I do have to clip these diode pins a bit because they are making it a little bit annoying to put the blue pill on correctly. So I do have to cut those legs. So just give me a moment. I have to find where the heck did I put my clippers? I know where I put the broken ones. I don't know why. They're in the trash, but I got a second pair with blue handles. We just give Jay a hard time because, you know, when he came into these beige Macs, he was like, I don't like them, I'm never going to like them. And then he started falling in love with them. And, you know, it happens. And he was just so happy about them. And we kept telling him, Jay, it's okay. You know, these are fun machines. You can play around with them. You know, you could put RGB lights on them. You can do all these great things. And he was like, you know what? I was wrong. Beige Macs are the future. And, but he won't admit it publicly because he's afraid. He's afraid of what others will think of him. So I think he just needs a little bit of courage. Just like Apple did when they removed the headphone jack. That's what the challenge is. Oh, where the heck are these stupid... I just need a new pair of cutters. That's what I need. Let me just see if I could use that. We've used these. Just give me a moment, folks. If I can get close enough on the board. Yeah, let me just do this here. These streams should be called "Where Did Steve Place His Tools?" This pair of pliers seems to be working okay, so just give me a moment. We're almost out of the woods with this. Alright, neat. That should be fine. Yeah, I watch YouTube on the TV. I don't know. It's just how I am. I'll lay down on the couch and be like, oh, look, there's a new video from such and such, and I'll put it on, and I'll get all cozy, and I'll probably fall asleep. But, you know, an effort is made. But I sometimes watch it at the computer, too. Alright, so with those diode guys trimmed down, the blue pill is sitting snugly over the areas where it should. The USB port is where the SD card slot is. That's where it should be. We're going to add some flux to here. And then we're going to solder that all in place. And I will need to wait to clip those, because I don't know where my my good clippers are. But that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's very, very good if you can keep this steady, Stephen, and things will actually adhere to them like that. So again, just doing the corners here, and then we'll do all the pins in the middle. I always forget where the beveled edge is of the soldering iron tip. There we go. Come on. You're not happy, huh? A big blob of solder on there will fix you up good. I'll tell you what. Not enough flux on there, it seems. Not enough flux. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and continue with this. I bet if Joe catapulted something, it would lay in Jay's backyard. That'd be fun. I mean, not for Jay, but fun for anybody watching. We're going to have to clean this up. That's okay. That's so funny. It is attached to everything except on that one side. It's like, no, I don't want to go. My depth view of my eyes today is just like not, like I can't like tell the differences if I'm up or down. It's okay, Steven. You're just dying or something. You're of that age. You had a good run. It's not like you have endless videos that you meant to get done by now. Or projects that you have to prepare for other people. It's fine. You're fine. It's fine. Alright, so let's do the other side here, and then I'm sure we'll have to do some touch-ups, but... Oh, boy. Let me try and focus this with my... Something's off here. It's just driving me crazy. I'll try it without my glasses. Oh boy. Magical focus. Oh god, it's him without his glasses. Run for the hills. Run for the hills. What temperature is this set at? At 420 degrees. You serious? Feels like we're not at anywhere near close to that. If I'm holding this wrong, there's something bothering me today. I don't know. I don't know. Was today's stream a mistake? Dial 899 Mac84 and tell them your opinion. Our receptionists are standing by. And the answer is yes. Whenever the Quadra 840 AV is involved, there's, of course, a mistake. We did hit 8,500 subscribers, so yay! That's sort of a milestone. We're almost to 9,000. That means we're almost to 10,000. But it's just a number. It's a cool number. Excited about it. Means I must be doing something right, I guess. But, see, now I can't read the chat on the screen. That's still a Cinder Spices. I have no idea. I mean, it's working. It's working. So, I mean, it's taking in the voltage and spitting it out at the correct voltage. So, in that respect, it is working. I don't know why it's running so hot. There's likely a short or something. So yeah, I mean, there's that board. Now what I'm gonna do is with that board, I'm gonna just like wait until I could get like all this. I'm gonna align the stars and get Joe and Kai Robinson and every smart person, Bruce, Jay, everyone in the chat, just like on a stream dedicated to that stupid machine. And we'll just go from there, because I think that's the only way. The more eyes on it, the better. Alright, I think that's all good. So that's the little blue pill attached to the board. And we'll have to scrub all the gunk off of that, but... burn it. No, we're not burning it. And you know we're not doing that. Alright, so next up, we have the termination jumpers. To enable termination, they go where? They go there, next to that thing. So let's put those on the board. So it's just these little jumper guys. Easy to put on. Alright, and those are installed, so those are the little jumpers that you could turn termination on and off. So there you go. Alright, so next, let's read the thing down here. Now the 50-pin header, okay. Pin 1 and the box header on the silk screen, yes. So we do that. So the little notch is facing the notch on the silk screen of the PCB there. And you can't see it because it's out of focus. And and then there's a little arrow pointing to the little notch right there. So we're all good. Alright, yes, email everyone the schematics so everyone can deal with the madness that you're dealing with. I like that idea. Piece of cardboard, just because this little... actually, I could use something else. I'll use the little SD card just to give it a little bit of a lift. Still not flat. No, let's use the cardboard. Yeah, that's better. I just need to be flat while I put the a few pins in place. And then we'll be good to go. Then we'll be good to go. You'll see. You'll see. No, you won't. I sincerely hope this is entertaining. This has been quite a little bit of a weird stream. But that's how it goes sometimes. Alright, get that out of the way now. And we can continue with our madness. The salt water. Oh. I think my eyepieces were too close together. I think that's why I was getting sort of a headache. My goodness, that feels better. Hello. Woo. That would make you dizzy. And I know the camera's off. Focus 1 second. I'll fix that. That's better. I do this. He's quiet. He's hoping for a par 4 on this one. Let's turn it around to get the other ones. Sorry if I'm not talking, I'm just trying to concentrate on this. And a lot of times, again, these little solder tails. Whee! Sounds like a children's TV series. Welcome back to Solder Tales. And no, I can't think up of a song for Solder Tales. We'll be right back after these messages. I am just not in my element today. There's just something going on with me. Whatever. We'll get through this. Solder Tales. Woohoo! There we go. Everything is connected, nothing is bridging, that's what counts. Okay. So, now we have the optional bird connector, which we will install because why the heck not? Just in case it is needed, we will install it. So that goes like this, and that's the little Molex connector guy that will supply power to the board. In case you need external power, your Mac, like a Mac2SI or something like that, does not provide termination power, well, you can just use the little connector there. It'd be helpful if the board wasn't moving. Having so many problems with little solder tails today. I don't know why. Anyway. Alright. So it looks like we're almost done here. Or maybe we are done. Make sure I didn't have any pieces left over. Oh yeah, we have the little little header. That's I guess that's the optional debug headers. Were they in the little bag here? I don't remember seeing them. Yes. No? No, that's a piece of tape. I don't see the optional headers, but I guess we don't need those, so that's okay. We don't need them, so they were not included, I guess. But that's okay. That's fine. I don't think I have those on mine either. So save a few bucks or whatever by making it without those. I can totally see why. All right, cool. So we all done. Oh, you don't include those anymore. Okay. Yeah, I use plenty of flux, and it's at 400 and something degrees. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, this is very sticky, so we're going to clean the heck out of this because it's too sticky. Too much flux. Too much flux. So just using some isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush here, as I used a lot of flux on this board, and it will dry and be all sticky and blech, and nobody needs that. So you're saying, Tom, mine is a rare SCSI because it has a rare BlueSCSI because it has a little header on it. Rare, super rare. Steve Jobs, look, rare. Super rare. All right. And I'm just going to check over with my eyeballs, make sure there's nothing suspect on any of the pins that we put on here or anything. Gotta let this dry for a bit. We just absolutely doused it with isopropyl alcohol. But that should dry pretty fast. Yeah, he's been trying to sell that 840 AV on eBay for like probably a decade. Knowing him. People be crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Alright, so let's turn this little fan that we have on full blast. That'll just help dry our little SCSI 2SD. Why do I keep saying SCSI 2SD? BlueSCSI, my goodness. Blue, 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 blue. Used to include the spare headers to populate the port, but then someone on Discord got a kit and posted a picture before turning it on, and they put the jumpers where the headers go. Oh. Yeah, that would be bad. Alright, and the plastic SCSI header still has some crud on it. Ah. So I'm just going to get my filthy flux-filled fingerprints off of that thing. And we'll clean this the best we can before sending it on to our good friend Dave, but for right now we're just tidying it up a bit, just enough to test it. We'll just let it sit up by itself. And I need to go wash my hands because they're filthy. I'll be right back. Okay. Put my glasses back on so I can see better. Ooh, disk cache. That sounds like fun. Why are we still in the tiny view? Hey. Alright, so we're just drying off our little BlueSCSI. And it's looking quite nice. Look how pretty it is. We're just giving that a little dry here with a little fan. The alcohol dries off very quickly. And then we'll be putting it into its lovely little blue case, which is 3D printed by Tom. Which is excellent. And where'd the little screw go that the little case was on? Oh, did it fall out when I tipped the bag looking for parts? It probably did. Don't worry, it could not have gotten far. I hope not. Batting 1,000 today, Steven. Batting 1,000. Here it is. I found it. I found it. Wash my hands. My hands are still all sticky. Alright. It's always fun when you forget you're on camera. Let's turn the fan off. And let's insert the BlueSCSI into its little case. Excellent. We're going to put the little screw in there so it stays put. I had a screwdriver. Here it is. And I guess we'll test this in my working Mac Classic with my logic board, just because that's probably the easiest thing to do at this point. So let's do it. Sign it before you assemble it. Dave can then resell it for 3 times the price. Well, Dave's going to be using this, but I'll send him a sticker or something along. All right, so let's move this out of the way. Okay, and let's get all of our soldering tools and what's it over here. Turn off the soldering iron. I left that on for a few hours the other day. Completely forgot that it was on. That was a bit of a no-no. You don't want to do that. It's not really the safest thing. Right, this SD card just has flux all over it, and that's not good. So we're just gonna clean that up. Okay. Oh, Atari 2600. Those are fun. Alright, so we have the little SD card in our BlueSCSI here. Let's move that over. Let's grab our Classic 2, and we'll put a working logic board in here just for fun. So this is my logic board here. Move this like that. And we're going to steal the cable from the other BlueSCSI, which was right here a little while ago. Here it is. It was upside down. I thought I did have the iron auto sleep on, but maybe I'm an idiot and I don't. This guy calls himself an idiot a lot. Yes, I do. Alright. And I believe there's an OS on here, so it should just boot up. So let's get our keyboard and mouse ready. And untangle this monstrosity. That should be good enough. Alright, and then we want our camera pointing at the Mac so you could actually see what the heck we're looking at here. Can I move that back a little bit? Is that too far? Maybe? Alright, let's sort this out. There's a bit of a weird arrangement here, especially with the heat gun in the way. Hold, please. It's called rearranging things on the fly in OBS. Always such fun. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so let's make sure we got everything settled here. This camera is really starting to bug me. That's a little bit better. Alright, so we got our BlueSCSI plugged in, we have our keyboard and mouse plugged in, and we're going to plug in the power, and we're going to turn on our Mac Classic. Where's the power cable? Where'd that go? The other end of it is always where I can't reach it. Alright, we're going to plug this in, and hopefully everything goes well. So we have no floppy drive connected or anything, so if it wants to boot, it would have to find the proper OS on the SD card, which is connected to the BlueSCSI. So I think we have an appropriate OS on there. If not, we have our floppy MU we could boot up and do all that fun stuff. But we do have the appropriate lights. There we go. And the BlueSCSI booted up just like that. Hey, something works for a change. That's nice. So go to About the Finder here, and we have 2 megabytes of memory that's built into our Macintosh Classic 2. Yay! So, Dave, your BlueSCSI is all good to go. You just got to let me know via email or whatever what you prefer as far as the operating system, how many partitions, and all that fun stuff. And you'll be good to go. But all set up for you there, sir. So I'll mail this out to you tomorrow or so. And make sure you have an SD card and all that stuff. And get you all done. But yeah, this thing is pretty darn quick. And what else do we have on here? We have applications like Snooper. That's an older version. Snooper 2. Yeah, things are just very quick on this machine, so that's great. Alright, so yeah, let's just do our SCSI test here just for fun. And we'll probably wrap it up because I am tired. Yep, there we go. So, it's all happy. Awesome. It's always nice to see something working correctly. Alright, so let's shut this guy down. There we go. And thankfully, managing the data on the BlueSCSI is very simple. You don't have to really worry too much about formatting the disk correctly. You just have to format it as an exFAT partition. And you can do that on any Mac, modern Mac or Windows machine. And you just drag a file over there that's named correctly, an HDA, that's an image file. And that's compatible with a lot of emulators out there. So you could technically have an emulator running with all the software you want and set up that disk image with the right OS and everything, and then just drag it onto that SD card and put it in your BlueSCSI, and you're good to go. You could have multiple images on there that mount, so you have, a System 6 or a 7 partition, all that fun stuff. It's excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. But, yeah, all right. So, middle of nowhere in Georgia, boring week. Well, go thrifting. Yes, exactly. That sounds like a great plan there, Adam. So yeah, I think that's about going to wrap it up. Anybody have any questions or anything they want me to cover? We've been going for 3 hours. I'm tired, I think. So I'm gonna end it in a minute or so. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to ask before we hang up here? I'll probably do another stream on Tuesday. Like I said earlier in the stream, want to do like a sort of like a Giving Tuesday donation type thing. I'll probably turn off the super chats and just have it for like a GoFundMe to one of the rescues I like supporting, one of the animal rescues. So, well, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, a stork comes. That's how I understand it. Yeah, Jay, why don't you stream for 12 hours and see how you like it? Were the good old days actually good? Yes, Bruce. Yes. Do you need another Apple Personal Laser Writer? I didn't buy one when one was presented to me, so I don't think I need another one, Nick. I really don't know. I don't think I do. I'm looking for a LaserWriter LaserWriter 2 NTX, like the upgraded logic board. I mean, I don't even know if mine works, but if anybody has the board lying around, that'd be cool. Yeah, if anybody has a Color Classic for sale, Vintage Hillbilly Shack is looking for one. Vintage Hillbilly Shack, I'd suggest you hop on the Tinker Different website. That's Tinker Different. It's a play on Think Different, TINKER.com. There's a website there. They have a trading post. There's also a Discord, so you might be able to find somebody there. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know. Joe has the classic. Yeah, Joe's working on his Color Classic. So, yeah, I guess is it starting to look a lot like Christmas? It's cold enough to be. I'd say that, but yeah. The cutting edge of printing is your Apple Dot Matrix printer. I'm jealous of you, Adam. Very jealous. Tinkle different. All right, Dave. I'll respond to your text sometime soon. Excellent. I had a good upgrade for the Color Classic 575 board. My emails don't reach apparently. Yeah, let me double check that again. I thought I put you guys in touch. I'll check after the stream, Thomas. But yeah, I guess that's going to wrap it up here for me today. Thank you everybody for stopping around and hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. But thank you very much for the super chats, for the likes, subscribes. I just put out a video about a Game Boy Pocket and fixing my Pokemon game. I know it's not really Macintosh related, but some of you might find that interesting. So you might want to check that out if you did not do so already, because that was a lot of fun. And we got something else working, so that was cool. But yeah, go buy a BlueSCSI. Have a good evening, and take care. Bye. Where's the end stream button? There it is. Bye.